The sun had barely risen when flashing blue lights reflected across our lake, slicing through the CA.LM morning like something that didn't belong. My son stood by the shoreline with his fishing rod in hand, looking more confused than scared as the officer stepped out of his car. The moment I saw that squad car rolling down our gravel driveway, I knew exactly who was behind it. This had Karen written all over it. What she didn't know, what she never bothered to find out, was that my boy wasn't just fishing. He was the newly appointed wildlife warden chief for the entire county. And today, she was about to regret making that call. Before I go any further, let me ask you something. Where are you watching from today? And if you're new here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to join our growing community. That morning, I was sipping my coffee on the porch when I noticed the squad car slowly creeping toward our property. The flashing lights looked completely out of place in the quiet dawn, bouncing off the water like shards of broken glass. Luke was standing knee-deep near the shoreline, his fishing rod resting lightly in his hands, clearly puzzled by what was happening. He had just come back from college a week earlier, stepping into his new role as wildlife warden chief for the entire county, a position he had worked years to earn. He wasn't fishing for fun. He was doing his job, checking the trout population in the lake, something he now had full authority to oversee. But of course, HOA Karen didn't know that. She was already standing there when I walked closer, arms crossed, planted near the officer like she owned the place. She was wearing that ridiculous wide-brimmed sun hat and the same sharp red lipstick she always wore when she was ready to scold someone. "Officer," she barked, pointing at Luke, "that boy is trespassing. I want him fined, and I want that fishing pole confiscated. This is private property under our HOA rules." I felt my blood pressure rise instantly. This was our lake. My great-grandfather had built the dam had created this pond more than 100 years ago. This land wasn't just ours by law, it was part of our family's history. Karen had lived here for less than 5 years, yet she strutted around like she was queen of the neighborhood. I walked down the path slowly and set my coffee cup on a fence post. "Morning, officer," I said, keeping my voice calm. "Is there a problem here?" The officer, a young man with stiff posture, looked uncertain. "Sir, this woman called in a report of trespassing and illegal fishing. She says the boy doesn't belong here." I turned to Luke, who stood quietly with his rod in hand. "Go ahead," I said. "Tell him who you are." Luke stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. "I'm Luke Harper, Wildlife Warden Chief for Carson, Virginia. Lake County. This lake is under my jurisdiction, and I'm conducting a fish population survey this morning. I have my credentials in my truck if you'd like to see them." The officer's eyebrows shot up. "Wildlife Warden Chief? As in, law enforcement?" Luke nodded. "State certified. I'm here on official duty. And this is also my family's private property. There's no trespassing happening here." For a split second, Karen's face went pale. Then she snapped back. "Don't listen to him. He's making it up. Nobody that young is a warden chief. Look at him, he's barely out of high school." She spun toward me. "And you, I've told you before, this lake belongs to the HOA. It's in our handbook." I couldn't help but laugh. "Karen, you can wave that handbook all you want, but it doesn't override county records or legal deeds. This lake was here long before your HOA ever existed. And my son isn't just some kid with a fishing pole. He has more authority over this water than you ever will." The officer raised his hand. "Ma'am, if what he's saying is true, then you may be making a false report. That's not something I can ignore." Karen opened her mouth, but no sound came out. She stared at Luke, jaw tightening as she realized his wasn't going the way she planned. Luke looked out over the lake, the early sunlight glinting off the ripples. "Dad," he said quietly. "It's starting again. She's trying to push us off what's ours." I lowered my voice and spoke to the officer. "She's been harassing us for months. She wants control of this lake because her house backs up to it, but it's never been HOA property. We still have the original deed from when my family built the dam back in 1874. I can bring the papers if you'd like." The officer nodded. "That would help clear things up. From what I'm seeing, I may need to file a report about this incident." Karen looked horrified. "A report? About me? He's the one fishing illegally." "No," I said firmly. "He's the one enforcing the law." She huffed and spun on her heels, muttering about calling the HOA board and taking this to the precinct. But I knew this wasn't over. Karen never let things go. After the officer left, Luke reeled in his line and looked at me. "We're going to have to deal with her sooner or later." I glanced toward Karen's house. "Oh, we'll deal with her. But not on her terms. We've got the law on our side and the truth." We stood by the lake for a moment, the cool breeze calming my nerves. The water reflected the sky a mirror, steady and unchanged, just like it had been for generations. This wasn't just property. It was a legacy. Later, I took Luke to the old barn and opened the iron trunk where our family documents were stored. Inside were yellowed deeds, hand-drawn maps, and letters dating back to the 1800s. I told him the story of his great-grandfather Samuel Harper, who settled this land in 1874, built the dam, and created the lake when everyone else said it couldn't be done. "This place isn't just land," I told him. "It's a promise." Luke nodded, determination hardening his expression.